finally going to get an offensive possession started, and it's Murphy in the zone. Behind the net quickly to Gavin Admiran, leading the LEC with 41 goals on the season. Has Zach Mann cutting into his left. Admiran taking his time behind the X. We're down to 49 seconds on the running shot clock. The handoff to Liam Bowler, back in action after missing 3 games with injury. He lines up a long shot, ripped, and it goes wide. Will Parducci, the starting goalie for the Beavers, a 4-year starter out of Manhattan Beach, California, and he filled the frame nicely on that shot. So the first shot of the contest goes wide, and the ball back to Bowler out on the right flank. Bowler, lefty shot, bounces. It's off the side of the net. Parducci there. He beats Connor Smith to the ball. Beats Jacob Banks to the ball, and we will go back the other way. Babson College, Max, little technical difficulties. We'll get you on here shortly. The second best clearing team in NCAA Division III. 99% of their clearing opportunities have been converted. And charging in, big body in front is Trevor Coppy. The ball is still loose. And look at the freshman Colin Colby get his body in the way and get that ball out of trouble. Coppy, with a trio of Beavers surrounding him, picks it up. And the Beacons 1 for 1 on possessions in the defensive zone, securing a stop. Luke Murphy threw a couple of charges. He's dodging through with some room. Stick check, pokes it free, but Admiran scoops it. Long shot, and a big save from Will Parducci. Admiran tried to go low to high on that one and couldn't convert. So 2 stops on 2 possessions for the Beavers as they take their second go on offense. And with the ball for the Beavers, let's do a volume check real quick. Max, are you in here with us?
Volume check. Hello, folks. This is Max Clifford coming into Beacons Cross.
All right, so let's go. So let's hop in right now. Back to the Beavs. This is number Chi Price on it right now. The team's leading goal scorer with 27 goals on the season.
Chi Price with a homecoming game. He played his high school lacrosse here at BC High, the field that we are on right now.
There's going to be a violation against Babson, so the turnover, and here's Colin Ford. Great stick check on the backside, and that's Ryan Kenny, the team's second leading goal scorer, now creating a play for himself. Flag down, big goal scoring opportunity, shot missed just wide from Will Spangenberg, and unfortunately not one, but it looks like 2 penalties coming up against the Beacons on that play. Can't afford to see that happen right there.
Can't afford to have any guys off the field at any point tonight. Babson is a team that already feels like they're overwhelming you. If you have one fewer guy or 2 fewer guys on the field, that's going to hurt a lot more.
So unfortunately, yeah, tough break for Colin Ford right there. Not 1, but 2 separate 1-minute penalties. He gets a slash and an unnecessary roughness, and so that's all the ammo you would assume a Babson College team needs, Max. Just short of 16 goals scored per contest. Obviously, that's 5 goals less than what the Beacons have this season, but the competition that this school goes against week in and week out, yeah, I mean, they come to play every week.
Their strength of schedule is really impressive. Look at the list of teams that this team has beat, and even the teams they've lost to are really quality losses. UMass lost to any team like this, maybe since MIT if you want to compare apples and oranges, but Beacons are definitely going to attack here tonight.
So it's a tough task right now with a man down. The Beacons have done fairly well on the season in the man down situations. And we just clarifying that we'll have the clock counting down right now. The Beacons have done a fairly decent job. One of Salem State's goals was scored with a man up, one of their 2 goals in the contest. And there's a rip right there. So you ask for it and you shall receive. And it's the usual suspect. That's Chi Price with the first goal. He is very familiar with this AstroTurf.
We knew we were going to see a lot of him tonight. Chi Price is a prolific goal scorer and assist getter, but from there, scoring from deep. It's not often you see a player rip from deep with that much confidence. Chi Price has earned it. He is this team's go-to guy.
He's from the South Shore, a Hingham, Massachusetts resident. He lets it rip from the slot. That is his 28th goal in now just 9 games. So he came in averaging over 3 goals per contest. And the face-off win right here that McNeely surrenders. Another opportunity. That was a huge rip out of Price again. That one misses high, but it is Will Spangenberg closest to it for the Beavers.
It's not often that we see Jason McNeely do the face-off. He's been one of the best in D3 this season.
65% to be exact.
That is a very high percentage. Exactly what coaches want to see, but Babson is a tough team on the face-off as well.
All right, so spitting off the block right now, this is junior attackman Brian Harley in front. Big collision. And that's going back to the Beacons. So Trevor Coppy standing tall in the frame right there. You saw Darian Clay, the reigning Little Eastern Conference Defensive Player of the Week, applying some good pressure.
And what a revelation those
Bad turnover right here, and this is Spangenberg in a dangerous spot. Will Spangenberg, a Division I transfer from Holy Cross, he scored 22 goals in 12 games last season, almost 2 Division I goals a game, and he's leading the attack this season as a grad transfer for Babson.
That's extremely impressive experience for this division level of lacrosse, but Babson team with a lot of impressive things.
Topher Bauer was just on the ball. He slides a pass over in the direction of a very talented freshman, Bennett Smith, who comes into action today with 11 goals in his freshman campaign. Behind, tough angled shot, big save for Trevor Coppy as Spangenberg goes into a very dangerous spot on the field that he knows how to convert from, and he gets stonewalled. The third save already for Trevor tonight.
Shutting down that Babson attacking point. They cannot get into an arms race.
I like this look right here as Nolan Beauregard flashes up high, and so the Beacons set the attack in. Look at the freshman dodging it. He hits the deck, and that's a big save made by Parducci. It's scooped up in front. It looks like Mezawar was digging his head in there, and that's going to be a penalty, a push against the Beacons. And so Babson standing tall on defense again. It was Beauregard taking it into a dangerous spot. 2 freshmen involved, Beauregard and Mezawar, but it's going back to the Beavers.
Beauregard was brave for running through that gauntlet of Babson defenders. Wasn't going to stop him until they fouled him. Came up just a bit short.
So Topher Bauer, he doesn't have it. He just handed the pass off to Price. Very interesting player. Last season, big stick check by Colin Colby, the LEC Rookie of the Week with a huge defensive play. I promise I'll get this point in. Bauer was part of a 15-goal scorer last season, but 5th in points, and he has a little bit of a lesser role with some of the grad transfers on the team right now for Babson. But getting a lot of playing time in the opening 5 minutes of the contest today.
Absolutely. And,
Here's Admiran. Tight angle here, working on the pole, shot low, it misses wide, but chasing after it is Jacob Banks. And so the Beacons will reset their offense. Interesting lineup right now for the Beacons as you have Bowler and Beauregard out there with Banks. Banks in tight there, left post, and he'll retreat out to Nolan Beauregard. Plenty of time on the shot clock here, really just one scoring opportunity so far. Bounce shot, and that's right into the frame of Will Parducci's stick. We got to talk about it with Dave Wahlberg, our SID, before this game started. Will Parducci's been a player on this Babson team for 4 years, and he's been a starter all 4 years. This is a guy who sees the ball well in net for the Beavers. Matt Stucci winding it along the perimeter here, a right-handed cradle, long pass, it stretches the defense, it finds Ryan Kenny. Spin move here to free up some space for the freshman Bennett Smith. Back to Kenny. This is a player who scored 66 goals in a season last year at Division II Lynchburg. Gets the pass off to Spangenberg. He does most of his work from back on the X. And so Babson's going to retreat here and walk it back out, give it back to Topher Bauer. Dodge. Oh, nice little, almost like a Euro step, if you will, and that will be a push from the backside. The Beacons bench doesn't like it. I believe that's Matt Laverty, the guilty party, with the penalty.
And it's tough to stop those Babson attackers without throwing in a little extra stuff here and there. Laverty gets called for it there, but the defense standing tall so far. I'm impressed that they've only let up 1 goal and a lot of shots flying, not a lot being through so far.
The Beacons holding up their end of the bargain defensively here is you have 3 rather dangerous scorers, and it doesn't necessarily look like Babson College is orienting their attack through those 3. Now, you see Spangenberg with the ball quite a bit. Chi Price, the lone goal scorer, he's taken 2 shots. He actually has 140 shots on the season in just 8 games, so that's a player not afraid to let it rip from the outside. Up top here, darted pass inside. That's a beautiful look. Pump fake shot, and that is missed in close quarters by Nick Solomon, the senior attacker. Sorry about that. It goes wide, so ball back to the Beaks.
Another big stop for the Beacons. They need to string those together, and so far they've really well.
So Laverty in the box for about, looks like 10 more seconds. Right there's the countdown. So the Beacons just need to get a clear right here. And Murphy, oh, nice stick check. And that's going back to the Beavers. Beautiful play by Chi Price. Coming in, playing midfield for most of the game up to this point. And that's the second time we've seen him come back and apply a stick check and separate the Beacons from the ball. Luke Murphy, you rarely ever see that happen to him. All right, so the penalty is over. Even shot rip, and Trevor Coppy gets a stick on it. So does Pat Carey. Carey overruns it. Price next to him. Carey with a good little basketball box out deep in the corner, and he'll get it out of trouble, but not cleared yet. Wide open in the middle of the field is Luke Murphy, and he'll take another stab at it here. He has Liam Bowler to his left. Instead, right-handed dodge right around his mark. He has Banks slipping behind. Murphy through a body check shot, scores, and that is the All-American Luke Murphy, unassisted. He did that himself.
And that is what tonight is going to need to be for the Beavers, just hard-nosed on offense, pushing through a lot of contact. Those Babson defenders are harassing the Beacons offense, but Luke Murphy is too big, too strong. They couldn't quite stop him. That's a tough shot. He found the back of the net.
Here's why that goal is so nice twofold. There was a bad penalty against Matt Laverty right after it looks like the Beacons got to stop. They buff up, they go 60 hard seconds with a man down, get the stop, and then immediately it's Luke Murphy, who just got stick check in a bad spot, goes right back to the well, goes right in, uses that 6'2" frame, and scores a goal.
They're not being discouraged. They know they're going to lose a few face-offs, a few offensive possessions. They're going to lose every once in a while against this Babson team. It's all about getting a win and not letting those losses stack up.
Jacob Taus, 7 goals on the season. He has the ball right now in the middle of the field, stalking forward. Christian Broft joins the attack with him, but they hand it right back off to Chi Price. Right on the left hash line here is the Babson Beavers are orienting this attack down the left flank. We've seen a bit of Jacob Taus now, and he swings it over to Christian Broft. I always have to mention a southeastern Pennsylvania product is Broft. He sets the pick right there. Nice job by Pat Carey sticking tight. As this is Ryan Kenny getting pushed all the way back to about the 30-yard line. He just couldn't find anything with that left-handed angle dodge. So the pass handed off to Matt Stucci. Stucci high pass. It's hauled in nicely by Broft. And here he goes. Left-handed dodge around Ford. Long shot. Beautiful finish. That's number 48, Christian Broft, finding Twine for just the 3rd time this season. Now, this is his 3rd game. 3 goals in 3 games. And it's number 48, Christian Broft, giving the Beavers a 2-1 lead. Colin Ford probably had one of the most impressive games against Salem State on Saturday, and just an unfortunate task that he was assigned on that play. Nice face-off win for Jason McNeely. He gets it into open space and gives it back to Luke Murphy, so that's what you want to see if you're the Beacons, a face-off win right after a score. Smith angled shot, and there's a ball in the net because there was a ball inside the net right there, but that misses off to the side, and this is Tyee Ambrosch ripping down the left flank. Long shot there, and it's high from Chi Price. This man's unconscious. He is not afraid to shoot the ball, and anywhere on the field it misses just high, but it stays with the Beavers, who still have 70 seconds on the shot clock. Topher Bauer back on it here. He did a lot of the legwork to set up that early Chi Price goal. Now that was back 3 minutes into the contest. Here's Price again, winding left to Matt Stucci. Pick set. I'm not sure who that's going to go again. The shot is in. Let's see. Is that a penalty on Mezzawar or on the Beavers? No, so count the goal, and it's going to be illegal contact to the head against Carson Mezzawar. That shot ripped home for Matt Stucci. And for Stucci, that's his 9th goal of the season. It's going to be a 1-minute penalty afterwards against Carson Mezzawar for contact to the head, and so Babson in a very dangerous position now, leading 3-1. And this is funny because Matt Lucchesi not having a good night in the center circle. It's very early in this contest, but he has been one of the more automatic features of this Beacons lineup. And now Spangenberg and Price playing a 2-man game in a dangerous spot. Bauer, that shot goes wide from Kenny. Copy with the late effort there to try and keep that ball in bounds, but it's not staying in. And so it's back to Babbo. And up top here is Chi Price. Scored the game's first goal. Now has 28 to his name on the season. Mezzawar in the sin bin, about halfway done his penalty here. The Beacons 1 for 1 in killing man-up opportunities. That's a great pass, though, and Spangenberg, he's going to score. That is just too easy with a man-up right there, right? You have Will Spangenberg. He seems to be able to score whenever he wants. That is goal number 23 to go along with 25 assists already. And you didn't want to see the game get... It's not out of control yet, but it's running a little bit that direction as the Beavers lead now 4-1. what we can do is mess with this and think, because we're not listening to each other anyway. If we just go direct, we should be going. Yeah. Oh, you're back already? Cool. Just keep it. So I'm going to just bring it off for the time being. Okay. And then I'm just going to say Max isn't far. Honestly, I'll keep it on this side. Let's just do this.
Whatever's easiest.
Yeah, cool.
Whatever is easiest for you. I don't.
As long as this doesn't sound bad, we're going to keep it. All right, sorry about that, everybody. Here, we just lost power in the broadcast booth, and that affects every aspect of the game, from the scoreboard to the shot clock to the broadcast.
Power's on. It says battery. Give it a second. Turn it off.
So we're going to hold momentarily here. Hopefully we'll get everything back up and running and be back very shortly. Max, just let's say something real quick. Let everybody know that you're here.
Hello, everybody. I'm still here. My headset's not working, but I'm sharing one with Chris now.
Yeah, here we go. So this works out pretty well for both of us. We weren't listening to each other in the headphones anyway, and now you get both of us because Max is offering a lot to this broadcast, and I don't think you guys heard enough out of it in the first. Let's reset here real quick. So the scoreboard's off, but the score right now, Babson 4, Beacons 1. A Chi-Chi Price goal very early in the contest got it started. Hard-fought 5 minutes out of the Beacons, and a Luke Murphy goal tied it at 1-1, but right now 3 consecutive goals for the Babson College Beavers. 4 different goal scorers for them. Chi-Chi Price has scored his 28th, Christian Broft his 3rd, Matt Stucci his 9th, and Will Spangenberg his 23rd. And Max, those were the names that we were cautious of. Still haven't heard out of Ryan Kenny, so the Beacons know what's out in front of them on the field tonight.
Absolutely. It's a very balanced attack from Babson. They've got 3 20-goal scorers, but only 1 20-assist man. It can come from anywhere for the Babson Beavers. They can get these points coming from anywhere. And for the Beacons, they need to look to their top 2 point scorers in Connor Smith and Gavin Admiran. That's where this game is going to start. So it starts with winning a face-off.
Connor Smith was very close to net twice. Look at Jason McNeely. That's a tough effort right there. That's going to be a violation against the Beavers. And so it is McNeely getting a better start so far in the circle than Lucozzi. Something was bound to give, but that's nice to see. It's exactly what you said the Beacons needed, and they got it.
Absolutely. If it's not one guy, it's the other. Lucozzi and McNeely are a great 1-2 punch. And McNeely picking up the slack. An offensive possession here for the Beaks, that is really important.
Right-handed cradle for Luke Murphy as he angles behind. Connor Smith going to clear out some room for him. What, Murphy showing some confidence here, taking on 2 different dodges and drawing a penalty. Throws it into some trouble for Jacob Banks, but he has an angle now wrapping around the outside. Banks, he scored 5 goals the last time these 2 teams played. Gets dispossessed. Smith was near it. It's picked up by the Beavers, and that will lead to the first man-up opportunity for the Beacons in this contest.
And that's going to be really important because if you can get Babson with a man down, the Beacons are a great offensive attack, and they are harassing on defense. The Babson Beavers are getting after it. So to have 1 fewer guy taking those hits, that's a huge advantage for the Beacons.
So Brendan Maher, the guilty party, he's the 6'1" junior in the sin bin with a slash. He was the most aggressive on that defensive possession right now, so that's a very good defender that the Beacons maybe lucked out getting into the sin bin. You saw Babbo take advantage of their opportunities with a man up. It's time for the Beacons to do the same thing.
Yes, this is highly important. Beacons have a very balanced offensive attack as well, and with 1 man up, it's going to be very important to find their top goal scorers. 1 behind the net, 1 in front.
So here's Banks. He opts to go back to Admiran. Admiran very comfortable from back there. 2x look right now as Smith goes to Banks, goes up top to Murphy. Long shot and a long score. You tell him, Max Clifford, that is a bang. 2 shots, 2 goals for Luke Murphy, and he's upped his tally to 14 goals and now 31 points on the season.
Luke Murphy isn't a guy who's going to stuff the stat sheet. He's going to find himself somewhere in the middle of your top 10 goal scorers, your top 10 assist guys, but he is hard-nosed. He's going to get that ball and make a play with it, and now 2 goals tonight.
Hold this.
Absolutely. 2 goals tonight for Luke Murphy, and that's just a testament to the player he is. When the moment's big, he steps up. He's a U.S. ILA All-American for a reason.
So the face-off lost by Lucozzi. Another big win in the circle for the Beavers. And getting these wins is number 37, Grace Sunderland. He does a little bit of everything for the Beavers. 6 goals last season, 3 goals so far this year, and has looked very good in the circle. Nice hustle by Holden Kuznaier, the true freshman out of Georgetown, Mass. And he's putting Babson in danger of the offsides. No, he wins it himself. Number 20, Holden Kuznaier with the play. And here come those long sticks. They had a phenomenal game against Salem State. It's Kuznaier and Cullen teaming up to clear the zone for the Beaks.
Some teams rely on their young bucks. We rely on the young Beaks. Holden Kuznaier is having an impressive freshman campaign.
Here's a young Beak shot and score. You called it, Max Clifford. Nolan Beauregard. How do you do? He's ambidextrous. He went left-handed and picks the top right corner, and the Beaks are back to within 1. It's 4-3.
What a start from the freshman Nolan Beauregard. Getting it started was freshman Holden Kuznaier. So this is a team that has a lot of experience, but they've got some youth too, and that was an impressive sequence to get the momentum going back towards the Beacons.
Let's talk a little bit about Nolan Beauregard, a player, kind of a late addition actually to the Beacons recruiting class. We found out very highly touted and has just grabbed a role on this team that I don't know was maybe intended for him. He's just playing too confident right now to ever consider taking him off the field.
Absolutely, and you know, I'm not superstitious, but you mentioned that that number 55 jersey comes with a lot of responsibility. This year we're sure missing Dara Fahey, who is the second leading scorer on last year's team, maybe third, but he had an impressive career in 55, and now Nolan Beauregard with an impressive start in the same jersey.
Yeah, that's a 150-point scorer. I mean, I think actually Dara almost hit 200 in his career, and so what a pleasant start to see out of Nolan, and a very clutch goal now, and now the Beacons once again on the defensive front, and they've looked good in pockets in this first quarter now, especially the high push of players like Colin Colby. And how about this right here, Carson Mezawar tracking in on this one. It pushes, that's Bennett Smith all the way back, but Mezawar a little bit of an overrun there. And here's the freshman Smith, wide open look. Oh, and that's tucked inside the right goalpost. How hard of a shot was that for Ryan Kenny? He knows how to score goals. He can do it asleep, and he scores his 26th of the season on that rip right there.
Yep, you know the run had to end at some point for the Beacons. They're glad they got back in it before Babson got one back, but now it's time to make sure that they don't stack those goals because a run will kill you, as I keep on mentioning. It starts here with Matt Lucozzi.
So let's take a look. Lucozzi has lost his last 3 faceoffs in this contest. I have him at 1 of 5. I'm not sure if the stats maybe have something different. We'll catch up on that at the end of the quarter. But this is a clutch draw right now. You can hear this Babson College bench. Very confident group right now, and a huge win right there for Lucozzi.
Had his opponent lost. The Babson face-off man was going in completely the wrong direction. Oh!
Shot scores! It's Darian Clay! Hey, listen, you give this man an award and he'll keep giving it back to you. We talk about grown man strength.
Absolutely.
That's a grown man, Max. You want to tell him Darian Clay's story, or I might say it's a 26-year-old out there. That is a man scoring a goal on couple of college-age kids. Yeah. That's a beautiful rip to make it 5-4. Beacons back to within 1.
That's fantastic. Last year's Defensive Player of the Week out of the LEC, ripping a powerful goal. And as you mentioned, just some big dudes on this team. Patrick Carey, Patrick Colburn, Darian Clay, and Colin Colby to boot. This is a big team right here.
So back another win for Gray Sunderland, but Colin Colby, how do you do another big play? I do think that's going to be a penalty. No, it's going to be a push. It's going to be a push. So not a flag, no penalty on the play, but possession resets for the Beavers. Looked like Colby made another big stop. And Colby and Kuznaier kind of permanently out there this afternoon, at least in this first quarter for the Beaks. All right, here's Spangenberg. He has a goal today. Listen, we'll be honest. We expect a couple of more of those before this contest is over. Dodge in, shot misses wide. Nice stick check there on the backside. I believe that was Sean Culla separating the player from the ball. Brian Hanley. No, pardon me. That's Spangenberg again. 8 and 6 doing some problems for me right now in these Babson jerseys. I apologize, but it's Will Spangenberg, the grad student out of Dover, Mass, slipping the pass over to Bennett Smith. Long they go to Smith cutting it, and he just dropped the pass, and it's scooped up. Oh, it was overran on the play. Beacons had an opportunity there. That shot misses high. See Matt Laverty in the mix right there, and he had a chance to pick that one up and get it back down the field for a clear. Missed opportunity right there for the Beaks, as we have 38 on the shot clock still. It's Bennett Smith wheeling around the pick. Murphy separated from the block quite a bit, and Trevor Coppy just eats that one. Beautiful save by number 21. Trevor Coppy seeing the ball pretty well, Max.
Absolutely. Trevor, as I mentioned, has really come into his own this season as a goalie. Started slow, but has really picked it up, and he is standing tall against a strong Babson attack.
I just love seeing Colin Colby take the ball up the field like this, and now he slots it back to Gavin Admiran. Beacon's looking to tie it up here. Chop step spin for Admiran, working at a tight angle. 2 Beavers on him. Smith's going to get to it, but that's a great play on defense by number 36, Hayden Beam. Tough job here for Bax. Almost tucks that one under the top crossbar, and Admiran's going to stay closest to it. We've touched on it on past broadcasts. It's very nice to see number 23 back on offense for the Beaks and Jacob Banks.
Absolutely. Jacob Banks has been a revelation ever since he came back from being on the hockey team, which is a unique thing that he does, and he scores goals both on the ice and on the field.
Greg Wolf into the mix right now. Looks in the direction of Zach Mann. Mann off the block. Puts it behind the net to Banks. 2 players in front, and this one gets squirted all the way back out up top. And reset, and that pass by Greg Wolf, it was intended for Nolan Beauregard, and it just got plucked out of midair by Kyle Sanborn. Now they go behind the net, and here's Babson. We're in the final minute of play in the first quarter, and Will Spangenberg has the remaining 40 seconds to try and maybe put Babson up too. Not sure what happened there between Wolf and Beauregard, but it's an opportunity wasted right now as the Beacons trail 5-4 in the closing seconds of this first quarter. Christian Broft, he scored a goal about 4 minutes into this contest. The second goal of the game, it put Babson up 2-1. Nice stick check on the backside, but an even better play reaching up and putting it in, and it's Ryan Kenny. He was quiet for the first 12 minutes of this contest, but the two most recent goals for Babbo to number 21.
Yeah, and that passing for Babson can't be understated. That was such a quick pass that Trevor Coppy didn't have time to turn around and have his feet set. He was still in motion when the ball went in the net. It's hard to keep up with that in goal.
Coach Batty with a compliment to number 48, Christian Broff, saying that was the best play I've seen out of you, and he really did set that up. He took 3 Beacons around the right side of the goal with him, slipped the pass over to Ryan Kenny. There's a man who scored 66 goals last season, 48 goals the year before for Lynchburg. He's going to put that in the back of the net if you do that good of work if you're Christian Broff. The Beacons win the faceoff. They have 11 seconds now to get a look at net. Clay, pull on pull. Right-handed dodge, 6 seconds. I'm not sure if he realizes it. 4 seconds. 3, got to get a shot off. Maybe Sullivan can rip it at the last second. No, don't count it. It goes low and wide. And so Sullivan, right place, right time, but the Beacons cannot end the quarter with a look on net. Max Clifford, it's been a fun first quarter. The Beacons, maybe what we expected, just trying to feel this game out, feel this opponent out, and they're sticking tight right now against the Beavers 6-4.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to see that the deficit is only 1 after the first. Obviously, Babson's a team. Oh, it's 2 now. My mistake.
Sorry.
That's a team that can get away from you on offense, but the Beacons keeping them close by grinding it out on defense, forcing turnovers, saving shots, and, of course, on offense, it's been Luke Murphy and a surprise one from Darian Clay, a pogo there. They want to get it started on offense. They're used to seeing goals from Gavin Admiran and Connor Smith, Jacob Banks even, and that's what they want to see in this second quarter. They want to pick it up on offense a little bit and cut this deficit to 1 and then hopefully tie this game up.
So I had 2 goals to Ryan Kenny. In the score sheet, we have 2 to Chi-Chi Price, 1 to Kenny, 1 to Spangenberg. So we expected that. Stucci and Broft also 2 good goal scorers, so you knew that these were the players that were going to touch you up and test you if you're Trevor Coppy. We've seen, look, six goals. They have taken more shots than the Beacons have. The Beavers right now. At the same time, only 1 more shot, 14-13. At the same time, there have been some bright spots in that defensive zone, especially out of some of the younger players.
Absolutely. This defense relies on its young leaders, really. Colin Colby, in just his second game of his collegiate career, well, in his first game, he won the LEC Rookie of the Week, and he was unbelievable on defense, and he's been doing more of the same. You've just got big bodies out there, some small bodies that can cause some problems, and they want to see more of that in the second half.
I got to talk to Colin Ford just walking off the field after the game on Saturday. The first player he wanted to talk about was the big freshman out of Dublin, Ohio, Colin Colby, because he said, Chris, you can see the difference that guy brings. Yeah, dude, I can, and then some. 6'5" with instincts and skills, hand strength to boot. Yeah, welcome to the team. I don't know where you found this guy recruiting out in Ohio, but hey, if that's some untapped territory, I'm sure Coach Lowe and the squad, they're keyed into it a bit right now.
Coach Lowe finds his guys by any means necessary. If he's got to go to Ohio to do it, he's going to do it.
Big face-off here, and McNeely looks to have won it, but no, he overran it. It's picked up by Sunderland, so that's a very big win for the Beavers. Sunderland threw a stick check, and the save is made by Trevor Coppy. Pat Carey was there, Coppy was there. They both looked to get sticks on it. But charging right on in was Grace Sunderland off that face-off win. And so what we thought would be a Beacons advantage hasn't proven so far. Beavers playing better in the face-off circle.
Absolutely. It's been something that you can count on all season.
That shot off the post from Chi-Chi Price. It hits high off the crossbar. The Beacons dodge a bullet there as Pat Carey closest to it. He'll wind around Will Spangenberg and look for the clear. Now, clearing is something that the Beavers have been much better than UMass Boston on the season. And so Pat Carey opting to go the wise route here and walk this one up the field. Ford over to Murphy. Murphy takes it across, and now Beauregard joins the offensive personnel. So it's Ford, Beauregard, Murphy, Smith, Admirand, Banks. And Beauregard taking it out of trouble right now, looking for some help, and he'll wind it over to Luke Murphy. 50 on the shot clock. What do you want to see the Beacons do on this possession right here?
I want them to find Gavin Admiran. He hasn't had much more than touched the ball during the game so far. Let's see him get into the mix.
Luke Murphy, 2 of the Beacons' 4 goals in the first quarter, and maybe just bit off a bit too much that he could chew right there, as Banks almost intercepted it, but that one is thrown away, and Colby scoops it up on midfield. Dylan Quinn made a play and then lost it after taking it across the center field line. Now we have Colin Ford angling down the left flank. Beacons trailing by 2. It's Beavers 6, Beacons 4. 13:15 on the running clock. Bowler was flashing in. Ford's pass goes a bit too high, but it's scooped up by Jacob Banks. Nice recovery defensively. 59 to shoot. Banks spins it. Oh, he just missed it wide on the right post. That was a beautiful no-look attempt, acrobatic at that, and Banks misses it by a hair.
Yeah, you're going to get crushed if you try to get near the goal, and Jacob Banks did. He almost got a goal out of it, but that's just the physical style of play that Babson's going to give you.
Smith had an angle. The save is made by Parducci, and Connor Smith, he's gotten into the grill of Will Parducci 3 separate times. 0 for 3 in close is number 1. Maybe seeing the ball well out of Connor's stick so far in this contest. So it's Babson 6, UMass Boston 4. Chi Price about 25 yards away from the goal, hands it back to Matt Stucci. And Matt Stucci has really been one of the quarterbacks on offense up to this point for the Beavers.
Yeah, absolutely. The Beavers are looking to get a shot off from anywhere on the field. They can really hit from anywhere, but they like to hit from deep. And that Beacons defense shying away a little bit. They've been physical early, but not so much on this possession.
Bauer's pass is thrown in front of Stucci. It's tipped by Colby. It's still loose down at the feet of a bunch of different defenders. Carey kicks it ahead. Pat Carey had it for a second. He runs into his teammate Jack Ranta, and it's going to be saved by Chi Price at the last possible second. Beacons really could have had one there, and they kick it away.
Yeah, absolutely. Just tough to get there to secure the ball on that defensive possession.
Kenny to Price, 2-man game. They have 3 goals combined in this contest. Left-handed cradle for Price. Oh, how did he get that one off? High, tight, under the crossbar. Just a beautiful goal, and the 3rd of the night already for Chi Price.
And we knew it was going to be the Chi Price show in his return to BC High Field. And that was a tough shot. He likes to shoot it from out deep, and he hit right under the crossbar in the perfect spot where Trevor Coppy couldn't quite get to it in time.
3 goals for Chi Price now, 1 for Ryan Kenny, 1 for Will Spangenberg, 1 for Matt Stucci, and 1 for Christian Broft. And Babson retaking a 3-goal lead, tied for their largest lead of the contest at 7-4. Luke Cozy with a big face-off win. He hands it off to Luke Murphy, and just like that, the Beacons are back down the seam. Clay to Smith. Smith the pass to Admiran. The shot is tipped. And I believe that was a shot attempt, so it will stay with the Beacons. Let's see, 66 seconds on a running shot clock here. And Banks going to walk it in for the Beaks. They're going to give Banks the right-handed dodge. He prefers dodging with the left hand. He can get shots off from both sides. Speaking of a man who can get shots off from both sides, it's Gavin Admiran doing it himself, spinning and winning, to borrow a phrase from the hardwood. And Admiran scores his 42nd of the year.
Coach Lowe tells me that Gavin is at his best when he's upset. 2 years ago, when they were in the NCAA tournament during the practice week, he got beat in a drill, and Coach tells me he went on to score on the next 6 possessions.
I heard that. I have heard that story, and I believe it.
I absolutely believe it, because Gavin is like a bull, just driving through anything to get that goal when he has been held down for too long, and you could see it there.
All right, this is big violation here against the Beacons, so they had an opportunity to walk possession back into their zone, looked like they had the win. Boom, they give it right back to Babson, and so you need the stop right here. You want to keep momentum bottled on your side of the field. Pat Carey, tough task there against Kenny. Pass goes over to Bennett Smith. Smith behind the net. Spangenberg, quick lefty shot, misses wide to the left, but Chi Price, no one else close to the ball but number 12. And you can see these guys, they're new to playing with each other, Max, but they have some instincts on where each other is going to be between Kenny, Price, and Spangenberg.
Yes, absolutely. They work well as an offensive unit, and that's been tough for the Beacons to figure out, because they aren't quite sure where everybody else is.
Oh, man, Chi Price just letting it rip right there. You can kind of see the body language, like he wanted to let that shot go, and he can let go from any angle, and he goes out wide. He pulls the release back in. If you're Trevor Coppy, that's a tough task, and it's the 4th time Chi Price has beaten him tonight.
Chi Price is really running away with this game for the Babson offense. And it's tough for Trevor Coppy to figure out, as you mentioned, because he has so many different slots that he can shoot from. And this game, getting away from the Beacons a little bit here in the first. They want to get one back here.
So it's 8-5 right now. Chi Price with 4 goals for the Babson College Beavers. Luke Murphy leading the way with 2 for the Beaks. A big face-off win for Lukosi. I do think now, if you look back at the stats, that the Beacons back in the driver's seat in the face-off circle, and they needed that. They knew that they would have that advantage coming into action tonight. They need that to maybe get a win, and that one's down at the feet of Luke Murphy. Uncharacteristic play here. Timothy Sullivan stick check, and Sullivan knocks it free. And Sullivan locked in right now with Banks. Finally, it's picked up by Murphy. He slips it ahead to Banks. Has Admiran to his left. Banks at a threatening spot. Banks, low shot, and it's a save made by Parducci. What a play by Will Parducci, as Banks could have gone anywhere. He goes low and misses.
Yeah, Banks tried to go 5-hole with that one, and Will Parducci just saw it. He had good instincts on the shot coming in and was ready for it, and that's a bit of a wasted possession for the Beacons, but they had the momentum. They wanted to go for that shot.
Christian Broft back to Chi-Chi Price, over to Matt Stucci. Matt Laverty maybe tried to sneak up on him. You see really good instincts out of Stucci right there. He felt the pressure coming from the backside, and so he spins it back to his right. Stucci on the mark of Laverty. Laverty pestering him but can't dispossess the ball from him, so Stucci finds Smith and re-releases. Smith, little two-man game here. They can't get the pass off. Broft knock off his mark. Darian Clay, look at that long pole go to work. Talk about wingspan right there.
Absolutely. Darian Clay is aggressive on the defensive end.
Save made there by Trevor Copy as Kuznaier a little bit late on the defensive rotation, but he did get there and he altered the shot. I can't see. It's only 28 on the shot clock right now for Babson.
Yeah, they need to get something off here, and they've got the guys to do it on the field. The Beacons need to keep
They don't see Chi-Chi Price, and he sneaks in, but the save is made by Copy. You got to know where number 12 is, but he was able to get around two Beacons, but Copy makes the save. And now Matt Laverty running into some open space. Has Pat Carey sneaking in. Big number 15, thinking about that shot. He'll wind it back with Zach Mann helping him out. Liam Bowler joining the attack here. So it's Bowler, Mann, Connor Smith, Nolan Beauregard, Gavin Admiran, and Jacob Banks. And it's been those six for most of this game on offense. Beauregard, long shot, he misses it high and wide, but Admiran and Banks closest to it. Man, Nolan Beauregard, not that thick of a guy, yet lanky, but a lot of power in that shot.
Absolutely. That's one of the shots that you fear as a goalie that is coming in so fast, and he knows where to put it too, but that time a little bit too high.
Bowler chop step. Bowler right-handed dodge, spins it back around, and he throws it wide. It got right into the body of Brendan Marr, but it is going to be kept into the zone by Zach Mann, the sixth-year player out of Merrimack College. Him and Connor Smith colloquially call themselves the old man gang.
Yeah.
48 years between them on the lacrosse field right now. Beauregard, that's a youngster letting it rip, and see some maybe young confidence out of that shot there. He missed it by a lot, but you can't get mad at a good shot kind of running into some space like that if you're Nolan Beauregard.
Absolutely. You want to see Beauregard take those shots with some confidence, and he has had confidence tonight. He has one goal out of it. You want to see him keep taking those shots.
Bowler, head fake. Bowler dodging it. Bowler shot scores! Liam Bowler, do it yourself! He's third on the team with assists, and he took matters into his own hands to score his sixth goal of the season. Beaks back to within two. It's 8-6.
Liam told us last week that he didn't mind sitting out against Salem State because he didn't care about goals in a blowout, which it was.
He called them, quote-unquote, bad stats. That is a good stat right there.
He waited his turn, and he got a great goal just now against potentially the toughest team on this schedule.
Hey, you can't say they're not having fun on the Beacon sideline right now. 2 goals in a row. Admirand and Bowler. And now a face-off win. Sean Culla slips it back to Luke Murphy. Nifty play, and now Murphy carrying it into the attacking zone. Smith back to Murphy as Bowler joins the attack again. Why wouldn't he right now with the afternoon he's having? Wolf over Bowler's left shoulder. Admiran slipping out of the X. He offers that spot to Bowler. No, Bowler puts the brakes on. Spins left. Looks back at Greg Wolf. Wolf maybe thinking about the shot from outside. He can do damage from every part of the field in the offensive zone. Smith, high pass. You see Connor Smith might be sped up a little bit in this contest here. He knows how important this game is, and that's a pass you see him convert to Jacob Banks every time. He couldn't get it done there.
Absolutely. A lot of pressure in this game. This is a high-stakes game. Connor Smith knows that, and he is still finding his feet in this matchup. Missed that pass by just a little bit.
Now Parducci feeling himself a little bit. He takes it all the way up to the 30-yard line, and this springs a pass over the head. Will it stay in bounds? Nice play on the defensive end there by, is that Beauregard? No, it's Pat Carey in the back end, but it is saved by Ryan Kenny on the deep right side. It looked like Ty Ambrose overran it, then got back to it and was able to shovel it over to Kenny. And now Kenny in a threatening spot back to Spangenberg. Almost dropped the pass, fronted by Kuznaier. Now back over to Chi-Chi Price. Price over to Stucci. You can hear the Babson College coaching staff right now imploring their players to communicate a little bit better, saying they're not talking enough. Well, let's see. Maybe some silent action can get it going for them here as Price, never afraid to let it rip. Stucci spins, thought about the left-handed shot, opts for the righty shot. Got a lot more on that than I was expecting. Misses high. Spangenberg's there. Just 23 seconds to shoot. Just 23 seconds to shoot right now for the Beavers. Spangenberg against Kuznire. The pair of freshmen in terms of Colby and Kuznire have been out the entirety of this first half on the defensive quarter. Oh, and a big save by Stucci keeps that one into the zone. 10 to shoot for Babbo. Stucci fronted by Mezawar. Big play as that ball hits the net. It's still loose. Shot clock resets, and Copy with a big save in close quarters. I believe he robbed Spangenberg on that.
Trevor Copy have a game. You can talk about the goals that Babson has on him already, but he's made so many saves against a team that can really shoot the ball.
And this is a player coming in cold. He didn't play on Saturday. Nice deflection there by, that was Topher Bauer. And Carson Mezawar gets dispossessed. Big play there by Jacob Banks. That's the hockey player showing you what he does. He dispossesses the ball, and now Banks is going to walk it in a threatening spot. 6 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Beavers 8, Beacons 6. Banks, nowhere to go. He flips it up to Bowler. Bowler has Flynn to his left. Bowler thinks about the long shot. Head fake. Oh, he's feeling himself right there. Big hit. Ball is loose. No one sees it. Scooped up brilliantly on the play by Dylan Quinn. Has Connor Smith in front of him. Smith maybe got lucky there. He didn't draw a slashing penalty. But Dylan Quinn, that's a turnover there, though. That pass was intended for Riley Shaw. And now Smith, in some open space, gets it over to Bowler, out to Admiran. Admiran coasting in, has Murphy over to his right. Flynn wants to get it over to Murphy, not going to force it, and now Bowler does. 60 seconds on the shot clock. Murphy behind the net for Banks. Up top, Admiran over to Smith. Smith, low shot. Oh, he takes a huge hit, and that one just scooped out of midair by Will Parducci.
Parducci doing the same thing the Copy's doing on their end. He's making a lot of saves against a strong attack from UMass Boston, and it has stopped a lot of good offensive possessions from turning into goals.
Here's Bennett Smith. Doesn't look like a freshman in the slightest as he takes it through the midfield zone and initiates the offense for Babson College. Sounds like we're going to have a timeout on the field. No, pardon me. It's offsides called against the Beavers. You saw head coach Tyler Lowe in the ear of the referee. He must have seen it. And now, look at this. Smith quickly back down the field. Has Admiran towards the middle. Goes back towards Ballard. Ballard with plenty of time to operate. Admiran shot. Bouncer. It clipped off of Parducci's stick. Will Parducci filling the frame nicely. But it rolls out to Jacob Banks. 4:40 on a running clock as the ball rolled back out to Mick Flynn. And the Beacons resetting this offensive possession, trailing by 2. They've scored the last 2 goals in this contest. Babson took an 8-4 lead. Man shot and the save from Parducci. That one just in time for Parducci, reaching up as Zach Mann testing the top crossbar. But here's Babson now with momentum. Bauer over to Bennett. Looks behind the net to Spangenberg. That was Bennett Smith. Now Spangenberg has it, left-handed cradle. Wheels it all the way back out to Ryan Kenny. Kenny, a very quick release shot on him. No lane to shoot it with Sean Cullen in his face. Topher Bauer to his right sets the pick. Kenny opting for the left-handed dodge. It doesn't clear up much room for him, so he goes all the way across to Broft. Broft around to Chi Price. 4 goals today. He spins to his left. Prefers the right-handed shot, so he goes back to Broft. Shot clock winding down. About 30 left for Babbo on this possession. 3:40 left in the quarter. Smith. Back to Spangenberg. Spangenberg fronted by Kuznire. Great defense from holding Kuznire, but Spangenberg keeps it alive. High hands. He falls down, and that will be a penalty. I don't think it's going to go against Patrick Carey. I believe that's actually the play in front of the net. It's going to be a technical interference call, and Colin Colby appears to be the guilty party. No, not Colby, pardon me, Luke Murphy. Now, this is just a 30-second penalty. The Beacons have killed off 3 of the man-up opportunities, but you don't want to see 30 seconds with a man-up down this close to the net.
No, absolutely not. You don't want to see Luke Murphy on the sideline either. He is a key to the defensive attack for the Beacons, and they want to hold the Beavers at bay as long as they have a man-up.
To that point, personnel-wise, you see Carson Mezawar coming on, and we're not. It's a very different presence on the lacrosse field that Carson brings. Let's see, though. He flashes up. Closes out the angle. Copy gets the save on it. The ball squirts out in the direction of Nick Solomon. Behind the net, they go to Price. Up top here to Stucci. Oh, open in the middle of the field. Shot, scores, and that's Topher Bauer. Probably the last Beaver that we expected to score tonight that hadn't scored. He finds Twine right there, and Babbo does take advantage of that man-up opportunity and stretches the lead back out to 3. Topher Bauer scores, making it 9-6.
Yeah, man-up opportunities are going to make a huge difference if UMass Boston keeps putting guys on the sideline and not getting a stop while they're there. Just a young defense, as we mentioned, missing Luke Murphy. That's a tough guy to lose.
Well, he's back on the field right now for Topher Bauer. That is his 7th goal of the season. He's a junior out of Chicago, Illinois. 14 goals in his playing time last season. Saw a slightly diminished role as the season's gotten started, but very close to matching last year's numbers. Murphy tried to cut off Chi Price's angle. Instead, Price now unmarked right in the middle of the field. Behind the net he goes in the direction of Spangenberg. Back out to Ryan Kenny. Kenny fakes the pass to his right, now takes it to Spangenberg. And you see Stucci in a dangerous spot, kind of unmarked here around the 25-yard line. This is Kenny on the ball. Over to Bennett Smith. Behind the net to Spangenberg. Oh, he gets around Kuznaier with a nice jab step. Long shot for Stucci. Big save from Copy. Ball is high, and it's picked up by Trevor Copy after the save. Oh, he almost knocked that one into his goal, but that's going to be a crease violation against Babson. And the Beacons now, 2:28 left on the clock. You obviously want to score this time down the field, but you need to start thinking about your defense as well as this game progresses.
Absolutely. You don't want to let Babson score another one, and you want to get one back, at least one back before you go into halftime here. Offense attacking now.
Murphy spins, long shot. Banks looks to have the angle on it. He wins the race to the ball, but Murphy, I don't know if that's the shot Luke Murphy needs to be taking right there, but there's plenty of time left on the shot clock, and so the Beacons with 65 left wind it back to Bauer. Back up to Murphy. Looks like maybe a new play being initiated by the Beacons offense here as Murphy angles to his right, and he'll hand it off to Greg Wolf. Wolf a bit pretty far away from the net, so he'll angle it in with a right-handed cradle. Gets knocked off his block, kept it alive for a second, but he felt the double team, and he just took that one into too much trouble. Nice clear on the play by Sammy Kalishman. And he did that with some help, but you can see Greg Wolf not too thrilled with himself after he lost that possession. So the Beacons defense, it goes without saying, need a stop right now, trailing 9-6. Flag against the Beacons is going to be an offside against the Beacons, so Babson going to have a man up here. Let's see, the whistle is blown. Well, I thought it was offsides against the Beacons. That looks to be the situation. How about that? It's going to be offsides against the Beavers, and so let's see. We're hearing a lot right now up top. Let's have the refs discuss each other. We know the call's offside. Where I saw the flag, it looked like it was going to be offsides against maybe Connor Smith, but you can see Admiran and the Beacon sideline. They seem pretty convinced it's on green, so let's see what this discussion breeds. So there you go, offside simultaneously. I couldn't tell you. The Beacon sideline not too thrilled with that call. But simultaneous offsides keeps the ball with the offense, and the shot clock does reset to 60. Now that's very good for two reasons for Babson. One, you keep the ball. Two, you can really wind this half down with a 3-goal lead.
Yeah, absolutely. Babson wants to hold the ball on their side because they know even though the Beacons have been sleeping a little bit on offense, they can come alive, and they don't want to let in a goal before halftime. They want to take this lead into the break.
Stucci fronted by Mezawar, so maybe by design seeing Carson Mezawar get some more minutes in the defensive zone. Great play by Holden Kuznaier, flushing Spangenberger out. Pardon me, and Will Spangenberg had nothing to do with it, but to get it back to Stucci. Stucci inside on Mezawar, he got the angle and he misses high off the crossbar. Carries first to it, he couldn't pick it up cleanly. There is a just army of bodies in front of the net. The ball is still up high. It's hit by Carey. Kuznaier gets to it. Oh, that's nice to see. Holden Kuznaier working on Chi Price. The pass is tipped. Oh, and Laverty overran it. Beacons had a chance for the clear. Instead, they were a bit too lackadaisical with it, and this is an opportunity. Missed high, and the closest to it was Holden Kuznaier, so he did get back where he needed to. That leaves 36 seconds for the Beacons to get what should be the last scoring opportunity of the half.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a bit quick to the quick to shoot for Babson on that possession. Now the Beacons get one back, and they want to take advantage of this opportunity.
They were so close to getting the clear across, and they still don't have it yet here as Colin Colby in a dangerous spot. He gets to Mesawar. Very nice job for Mesawar, and he draws the flag. 20 seconds left for the Beacons as Admiran gets cut off pretty far away from his block with 15 seconds. He looks at the clock. He's going to go solo here. One-on-one. Admiran. Left-handed cradle. Oh, jab step. Drop shot, passes the pounce to Smith. Shot is wide by Banks. Clock stops with 3.4 seconds left. It's going to have to be something just heaved in towards the center. Some nice ball movement there. Well, let's see. There will be a penalty on Babson. Penalty is going to be against Topher Bauer. It's a 30-second penalty, and so if nothing else, the Beacons will get to start the third quarter with a little bit of man-up time. And we have a timeout on the field taken by Babson. So hold that thought. We won't go anywhere. There's 3.4 seconds left in this first half. And Babson takes the timeout just to solidify their defense. So they'll take a quick break, and we'll take a quick break as well. Very fun first half. Still close. Beacons trailing by 3. It's Babson College 9. UMass Boston 6. More right after this on the Beacon Broadcasting Network, brought to you by LittleEast.tv. And we're back. 3.4 seconds left to go in the half. It's going to be, I'm not sure what Luke Murphy's game plan is here. You have two options. You can kind of loft it in towards the middle or just let the 3.5 wind down. And that will be what Mr. Murphy does. And so that will take us in. There's the air horn right there. That will take us into the halftime break. The Beacons trailing by 3, but they will have 27 seconds with the man up to start quarter number 3. Max, we see the score is 9-6. We knew this would be a tough fight for the Beacons. What have you seen so far through the first 30 minutes of lacrosse?
So it's not the most positive sentiment in the world, but it could be worse. It absolutely could be worse. Babson is a very good team, offensively and defensively. So to hold them to 9 and to get 6 on them in a half is big. Now the Beacons need to play like the team that they can look like, a little stronger on offense, maybe play, the defense has been tough. Allowing 9 goals is really good. The offense does need to pick up in the second half, and we saw flashes of it from Gavin Admiran and Connor Smith. Those are the guys that they lean on, and those are the guys that Babson surely game planned for. So they want to look for their guys.
Well, actually, so let me throw this in here. It's Luke Murphy with 2 goals, and then you have Beauregard and Bowler each have a goal as well. Connor Smith yet to score, and he's actually 0 of 5 on his 5 shots on goal. And so right now, Will Parducci seeing the ball out of his stick pretty well. I would have to add that if Connor Smith can figure it out in this break, the Beacons are very much right in this contest. And we've seen some bright spots out of the defense. Chi-Chi Price has scored 4 goals so far, kind of tailed off towards the end of that second quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. The defense has been excellent, and they're led by young players. We keep mentioning this, but the young players showing a lot of maturity. Colin Colby out there, Holden Kuznai are really impressive in the first half. They're going to turn to their veteran leaders, Darian Clay and Patrick Carey. These are guys that are going to lead the way in the second half. And, of course, Luke Murphy, the midfielder. They just need to keep playing strong. I think 9 goals and a half is not bad. A 3-point deficit is not the worst. There is a lot of hope going into the second half for the Beaks. They just need to capitalize on more offensive opportunities.
So only 3 goals scored a quarter for the Beaks. 2 from Luke Murphy, 1 from Gavin Admiran, 1 from Darian Clay, 1 from Nolan Beauregard, and 1 from Liam Bowler. So there's some familiar names that haven't found twine yet for the Beaks. 9 goals for Babson College, 4 of them scored by Chi-Chi Price in the first half. Then you also have 1 apiece for Matt Stucci, Will Spangenberg, Christian Broft, Ryan Kenny, and number 47, Topher Bauer. And Max, if you look at that, those are the first 6 names on the goal-scoring sheet. And so Babson, they're not pulling any punches here. They're leaning on their usual suspects offensively. I'll hold this real quick because We should take ourselves a break. It's halftime right here. What we are going to do, we'll have about a 5.5-minute break. We'll come on with about 2 minutes left to go, and we'll talk you through the rest of halftime and get in to the third quarter. The Beacons trying to move to 8-3. The Beavers trying to hold their top 20 position. They're right there on the precipice at 20 and move to 7-2. We've had a fun game so far. We're assuming it's only going to get better. 5 minutes, we'll be right back on the Beacon Broadcasting Network, brought to you by LittleEast.tv. He's Max Clifford. I'm Chris Del Sordo. Don't go anywhere. There we go. All right. We are back, folks. Sorry about that. Looks like a minute 20 before we get started with the second half here. Side-by-side statistics. My name is Chris Del Sordo. Max Clifford is next to me calling the action for you on the Beacon Broadcasting Network. It was a fun first half. The Beacons find themselves down 3. Only 3 more shots taken from Babson than the Beacons, 28-25. The shots on goal, similar as well. Trevor Coffey has made 8 saves up to this point. Will Parducci has actually had to make 10 saves so far. So the Beacons are testing Will Parducci, maybe not beating him, but at least letting him know that they are there. And we talked about maybe you have to forget if you're Connor Smith and might see him coming out firing here in half number 2. We expected the Beacons to win the faceoff battle. They are doing that, Max, but just barely. It is a 9-8 advantage. Maybe that's the reason why they find themselves still down 3 here, because they knew they needed to dominate that matchup. Can't necessarily say they've done that yet.
No, not at all. And they're going to want to get more possessions from faceoffs in the second half. They want to do more with those possessions. They want to look to their strongest scorers on the roster, but those seem to be the players that Babson is game planned for. So they also can't look past Liam Bowler. They can't look past Luke Murphy as a scorer. Greg Wolf hasn't gotten in on it yet. So there are going to be some guys who haven't made noise yet that are going to, and that hopefully will include their guys Connor Smith and Gavin Admirand.
All right, and so with the penalty against Topher Bauer, the Beacons are going to start in the offensive zone. You love to see that here. This is a huge opportunity. You had 10 minutes to maybe draw something up, or at least put the proper thoughts in your players' minds on how you want to attack. So here we go. Underway in the second half, Beacons trailing by 3, the last and biggest non-conference game of the season. And Liam Bowler, over to Greg Wolf. Now Liam, angling to his right. Goes behind the net in the direction of Smith. Had Wolf cutting in front. Instead gives it to Admirand. 9 seconds on the man-up opportunity as Smith winds, fires, and misses just barely. High and wide and to the right. And you can hear the Babson College bench letting it be heard right now. They're into it. They've brought fans, and they're very much affecting the flow of the gameplay right now as the Beacons have 5.5 seconds left on this man-up opportunity.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Ashbourne coming back on. But this frees up Luke Murphy high above the net. Man gets fronted by Ashburn. He's able to slip the pass over to Bowler. Bowler to Smith. Smith shot. Oh, and he just misses again, and it's just not quite calibrated for Connor Smith this evening.
He's trying it at a very tough angle. That's not the best angle to get. He wants to sneak up on the goalie, but he's trying to shoot it right across the front, and it's just not working at this time.
Few players better than picking corners as Connor Smith has been up to this point on the season. Luke Murphy, he's had a phenomenal afternoon, but that's a loose, light shot, and that's because there was a whistle on the play. It will be an interference against Babson. Normally you don't see Luke Murphy get that soft a shot off, and so he was fouled. Not a penalty, but the ball stays with the Beaks. Bowler thought about the long shot, instead gives it to Murphy. Back to Bowler, rips it, and another save from Parducci. That was the frame of the stick, not even anywhere near the net, but the ball turned over. Admirand has Smith. Smith scores! How fast of a shot was that, Max Clifford? Stay with us here as you almost fell out of your seat. Connor Smith, we knew it was only a matter of time. Bless us right now.
That was a rise ball from Connor Smith. That started low and went high, and finally snuck one past the Babson goalie, Will Parducci. That was a fantastic shot from Connor Smith, and that's experience knowing he knows where the ball's going. Let me put it somewhere where he can't even find it. That was excellent location from Connor Smith.
Connor Smith now with 32 goals on the season, and have the Beacons maybe awakened a sleeping monster. He's one of the most talented players every time he steps onto the field, and it took him 7 shots to find Twine, but he does it, and here's McNeely. And McNeely shovels this one over to Carson Mesamore. Mesamore with some room. 2 poles out on the offensive attack right now. McNeely's going to come off, and it's Nolan Beauregard joining the fun. Mesamore looks back to Admirand. Gavin had to sky up a little bit to get that, but now with room to work behind the X.
Gavin Admirand in an ISO situation. This is where he loves to get his goals, from behind the net with one defender.
He was lined up across from Riley Shaw, rifled that shot in, misses it long. Greg Wolf closest to it. No, actually, how about that beautiful play by number 43, Dylan Quinn. He's had an up-and-down evening, but he won the race. He read the angle better. It looked like Greg Wolf ran too far behind the net instead of out towards the sideline. Quinn gives it back to the Beavers, and that's a huge stop for Babbo as the Beacons had a chance to bring this game back to within 1. This is Babson's first really look 2 minutes into this quarter offensively.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're going to be looking for their their top scorers who we saw light it up in the first half, and the Beacons hopefully have game plan to stop those top names that they've been preparing for all week.
They go behind the net in the direction of Ryan Kenny. He has Will Spangenberg out on the right wing. Spangenberg left-handed dodge. Laverty comes out and fronts him, but he pulled Laverty out of position there. Spins and he has some room free. Carey goes up, and that pass over the head of Ryan Kenny and out of bounds. Nice play there by Colin Colby. Probably an even better play there by Patrick Carey cutting off the angle. And the Beacons, one possession, one stop in this half.
Absolutely. Defense is standing tall outside of that one early goal so far here in the half. Beacon's looking to get one back here with an extra offensive opportunity.
Luke Murphy, always so confident with the ball in his stick. He cradles around and he gets right past Kyle Sanborn. Murphy still angling to his right here. Bowler drops back and clears up some space. Murphy slips it off to Mesaward. The pass goes too high, and Dylan Quinn with the interception. Two phenomenal defensive plays in a row for number 43, and he launches that pass up, and it does find the midfielder Kyle Sanborn. A tense moment right in the middle of the field for him, but he corrals it, and now Chi Price stalking in with the ball for Babson. Looks back to Kenny, to Spangenberg, and now it's Topher Bauer. One goal in the afternoon for Bauer, behind the net to Ryan Kenny. Back top to Bennett. Smith takes on all comers, and that's a true freshman. He just kind of coasted on in. The second he felt the extra body, rips the shot, and Bennett Smith picks the top right corner for his 12th goal in his freshman campaign.
Yeah, he got as far as he could into the offensive zone and then just let it fly, and it was a little too high for Trevor Coffey to get to in time, and that's an excellent play from the Babson offense to get one back.
10 goals right now for the Babson Beavers. 4 of them scored by Chi Price, and the other 6 have been 6 different goal scorers. Funny enough, Max, it is the top 7 names in terms of goals on the season for the Beavers, so we haven't had any pole goals. You know, no defenders coming in and making plays offensively for Babbo, but they haven't needed it, and this is a big play. Oh, what a stick check by Sean Cullah. Quote-unquote called a menace by 2 different teammates on the team. That's a beautifully menacing play there from Cullah. And now Laverty, 1 second too late. He would have gotten that one right through, but instead it's Kenny, but he shoots it right on into Trevor Coffey. So Coffey standing firm there. Ryan Kenny, maybe he could have done a bit more with that, but instead the ball right back to the Beacons. So they survive a mistake, force one of their own, and now slow it down a bit.
Yep, absolutely. Kenny wanted a fast break goal there, but Coffey was ready for him there in net. One-on-one, he got the stop, and that's huge because that could have been getting out of hand for the Beacons on defense.
9-7, Beacons still trailing by just 2. Bauer, he has a pretty goal scored this evening. He spins off, decides not to shoot. Pick set by Banks. Bauer still moving. And it gets back out to Colin Ford. Ford and Admirand, a little 2-man game. Pretty far away from the net here, but maybe it'll lead to a pick. Admirand, 1 goal, 1 assist this evening. Over to Ford. Banks maybe had it in the shooting pocket there. The Beacons not hurrying anything. There's 25 on the shot clock. Admirand with some room. Admirand shot and scores! Taking on all comers. He gets pushed from the back. It don't matter. Too strong, 2 goals, and the Beacons are back tight. 10-8. Beacons back to within 2. Gavin Admirand's 43rd of the year.
When 8 decides to do it himself, it is hard to stop him. He moved out from behind the goal and took it at the top of the key, and like a point guard on a mission, he drove right to the net and flying through the air, slices one into the net. It's hard to stop 8 when he's on that mission.
Gavin Admirand, and the one thing that you can kind of forget about because of all the other things he does so well is how powerful that shot is. He didn't have a lot of base on him there to get a lot underneath it, and that still was ripped into the net over the left shoulder of Will Parducci. But a big face-off win for Babson. They're back even with the Beacons now in the center circle on the contest. And so it's Will Spangenberg once again in a dangerous spot. He'll slide the pass over to Topher Bauer. And Bauer, from that familiar spot deep along the right sideline, he'll angle in and start the attack for the Beavers. Behind the net to Stucci. Or pardon me, that's number 49, it looks like, Cole Bordenaro. It's a player who scored 4 goals against the Beacons in the game last season. Haven't heard much out of him yet today. Price misses that shot wide into the right. Bordenaro closest to it. Let's see, does the shot clock reset there? Still at 42, so no, the shot clock doesn't reset. Babson's offense will, and it's Patrick Carey deep in the corner, going to directly apply the pressure to Bordenaro. Colt Bordenaro angling to his right, wants to pass it up high to Chi Price. 4 goals in the first half for Price. Wants to let it rip again. Save made by Trevor Coppy. He has to go down to one knee to get to it. He can't corral it, but Colin Colby does, and he gets it over the defense to Carson Mezawar. Not quite out of trouble yet, but Mezawar rip over. Gets bumped by Patrick Carey. Slides the pass back to Carey. That's how you do a clear right there. All right, let's see what Pat Carey has in mind. He loves at least stepping into the offensive zone. He'll slide back as it's Luke Murphy quarterbacking the offense here with 8:50 left to go in the third quarter. Beavers 10, Beacons 8. A very fun non-conference matchup right in the meat of the season. What a test for the Beacons as this season has progressed, and they've held up their end of the bargain. Mick Flynn, right-handed angle dodge, no shot to be taken, so he slides it back to Gavin Admirant. The All-American looking like it as this game has moved on. 2 goals and an assist tonight. Right-handed dodge. Admirant getting in close, trying to slip the pass to Connor Smith, and I think that was somewhere between a low pass and a hit stick and a bad turnover for the Beacons right there. It just seems like they're very much right with Babson in this game, but when the moment comes to grab the game and make moves to tie it back up, it hasn't been there yet.
Absolutely. There are a lot of mistakes that are avoidable for the Beacons so far in this game, and that was a big one. A miscommunication between their 2 top scorers and a wasted offensive opportunity that they want back.
Bordenaro, he was trying to find the cutting player in towards the middle of the field in Jacob Taus. Instead, they'll wind it back to Colt Bordenaro on the X. He's pretty tight to the back of the crease right there. Finally, Carey picks him up. Great stick check by Pat Carey, angling him away from the net, and it goes all the way back out to Jacob Taus. 39 seconds on a running shot clock here for Babson as this game is considerably slowed down from the pace we had in the first quarter. But Taus, they're letting him roll on in. He tries to get it back to Bordenaro, instead to Spangenberg. All the way up top to Bennett Smith. And now it's Topher Bauer. Spinning off, has the right-handed shot. Over to Bennett Smith. Head fake, working against Luke Murphy. He gets inside of Murphy, and he finishes inside. Bennett Smith, the true freshman, he picks the top right corner again. Both of his goals have been very impressive, and Babson back up 3. It's 11-8.
Yeah, that was a sneaky move to get past Luke Murphy. It's not an easy task, but he went. Bennett Smith went right, then left, and then went right to the goal, and he had the perfect spot on that shot.
So for Bennett Smith, he has scored the lone 2 goals of the third quarter for Babson College. A true freshman, Bennett Smith is, out of Lake Oswego, Oregon. So they went all the way over to the northwest coast there to bring him on back. And quite an investment made in Bennett Smith. Quite an ROI that they're getting out of Bennett Smith as he's now averaging 1.5 goals per contest in his freshman year. But Sean Cullah, big win on the faceoff right there. You got to keep it in the zone. That doesn't help. Lukosi retreating. Big play by Pat Carey. And luckily, Mezawar was on the proper side of the midfield line. So the Beacons can exhale. They do win that faceoff after about 15 seconds of white knuckling. Admirand waiting for Bowler to join him. I don't know what got into me. For 5 minutes, I was calling him Liam Bowler. Liam, I know your last name is Bowler. I'll get that right the rest of the way here. But Bowler, right-handed cradle, has Zach Mann over his left shoulder, fakes the pass to Mann, chop step. Keeps the left-handed cradle alive. Sullivan to his right, Mann to his left, now Zach Mann. Liam Bowler on the hash mark. Behind the net, that's Connor Smith. Fakes the pass, now Smith. Can't quite get that angle in for the shot, so he opts back to Admirand. Sullivan, pretty far away from the net, working against Tyee Ashbourne. Sullivan passes in the middle, Banks is clobbered, Smith picks it up and scores! No, do they wave it off? It's a crease violation against Connor Smith. Are you kidding me? Look at Connor Smith, he's pointing right to where he was. I think we got that on camera. I'm obviously going to wind that one back after this game's over. But remember that, folks. Don't count the goal at the 6:10 mark from Connor Smith. And count the goal the other way back. That is the long stick midi Dylan Quinn. That's how you lose momentum in a lacrosse game right there. And Babson up 12-8 after the Dylan Quinn goal. What couldn't have been more than 20 seconds after that Smith goal gets disallowed. Heads up play there for Babson, number 43.
That changes everything. When a goal, a seemingly sure thing, gets waved off. It was an impressive angle from Connor Smith, too. Got just inside the crease, and then Babson turns it into a quick goal. And that's a tough one to bounce back from the Beacons. You thought you had one, and then they have one.
So look at Dylan Quinn. That is his first goal of the season, the junior out of Spring Lake, New Jersey. But the Beacons do win this faceoff with a chance in the scoring slot. Smith scores! So Connor Smith, he keeps the head up, and he gets one right back. Luke Murphy, the beautiful assist, and Connor Smith, he does keep the head up. He finds Twine for the second time tonight.
That was a ball don't lie moment from Connor Smith. If they weren't going to count the last one, he was going to get one right back. And Connor Smith, you're not going to keep him down for long. And talking a little smack to the sideline as well. This is an experienced player with a lot of confidence, and you weren't going to keep him off the stat sheet all night.
I don't want to put something out there that isn't there right now. The Beacons seem like a bit more of the quietly confident team in this game right now. They've been right there on every possession. You've had some bad turnovers in bad spots, but right now there's a lot of hooting and hollering from the Babo College bench, and the Beacons have just been locked in. And there's another turnover forced by Pat Carey, a push on the backside against Babson, and there you go. UMass Boston is very much in this contest, trailing 9-12, but they get the clear, and here's Pat Carey. Still 5.5 minutes left to go in the third quarter here. Oh, what a bad pitch. Right when I said they were getting back into this contest, you can't have that between Carey and Murphy, two of your most veteran players on the Beaks at the most inopportune time. Now you need to recover again. You were able to pick your head back up off the mat after Smith got the goal called back. Now you need another stop right here. Plenty of time on the shot clock for Babson. They go full offensive personnel change. And walking it in is Chi Price. Over to Stucci. Stucci angles off to his left. Price, you know he wants to shoot. He hasn't let one rip for quite some time now. Colby slips him off the block, but now Price spinning. Can't get the shot off around Mezawar. Now he does. Are you kidding me? Not one, not two, not three, not four, 5 Chi Price goals, and Max, it's like they get more impressive with each one.
Absolutely, and I don't think you can play defense much better than Carson Mezawar, the freshman, played on that play. It was just a matter of Chi Rice finding the only possible ball, the width of the ball. That's exactly what he needed.
It was
to
the
squeeze
diameter
it
of the lacrosse ball. You're right.
He threaded the needle, and that's his 5th goal of the game, and you're right. They keep getting better and better.
Chi Price in 9 games has now scored 32 goals. You can see he is a team captain for a reason, the local product as advertised so far tonight. And that's a turnover there for McNeely and Ford not being able to link up. Still plenty of time left in this contest, but once again, when you have those opportunities that are yours to take, not 50-50 balls, but a ball that should belong to UMass Boston, too many times, for whatever reason, it's found its way into the frame of a Beaver stick. Got to lock in for the remaining 19 minutes of this contest here if you want to try and keep this upset bid alive. Spinning off the pass is Jacob Taus, fronted by Darian Clay. See Clay getting very active right now, trying to force a turnover. You see the pace kind of upping a little bit for the Beacons now as you're under 20 minutes left in this contest. Nice front by Colin Colby. So now it's Topher Bauer. Quick chop step. That shot's deflected on the way in. Spansonberg's closest to it, so it'll stay with the Beavers. 34 on the shot clock, so Babson plenty of time to wind this one in, and they don't waste any time. It's Stucci, far along the left sideline. He'll go left-handed drive. Matt Laverty asserting his presence against Stucci. Stucci hasn't been able to see anything he wants to do. He might just try and score. The save made by Trevor Coppy. Darian Clay got his body in front. Coppy reaches up and makes the save. He's allowed 13 goals, but Max, all things considered, he's looked pretty good in net tonight.
Coppy's making a lot of saves, and the saves that he wasn't making earlier this season, he's making tonight, and they're huge.
Now Trevor Coppy going to walk it out a little bit. Plenty of room to his left. He passes it over to Holden Kuznaier. Kuznaier fakes the pass to Bowler, gets it over to Beauregard, and here comes Nolan Beauregard with a goal tonight across the middle of the field. Slings it over to Colin Ford. Ford, 6 goals, 6 assists on the season for the senior out of Worcester. Over to Bowler. 6 goals, 10 assists to his name. Bowler, chop step. Left-handed cradle, wants to get it back there to Smith. Smith to Beauregard. Oh, Nolan thought about the shot before he had it. Me and you saw that happen a mile away. It was a beautiful pass from Smith, and Beauregard, I think he thought it was in the pocket before it got there. Another turnover. Unfortunately, those turnover numbers climbing right now as we go deeper into the third quarter. You can't afford that one as Babo walking it back in with a 4-goal lead. Risky pass there, but it finds the stick of Topher Bauer. The Beacons, 16 turnovers committed. Babson has only committed 10. And it is a 4-goal differential, so you guys can do the math at home right there. I'm sure Coach Lowe and the rest of the coaching staff would like it a little bit cleaner than it has been. Bennett Smith, 2 very impressive goals this afternoon. Vying for his 3rd, nice play by Murphy, and then Copy plucks it away from the net. Holden Kuznaier, Colin Colby have been around every play on defense. Now, Luke Murphy and Pat Carey had a lot to do with that. But you can see 2 freshmen holding the back line of the defense against a top 20 Babson College team. And Luke Murphy, that's the 3rd time he has gotten dispossessed in midfield. You just rarely ever see that. But a nice play on the backside. I believe that was Pat Carey, almost forced the turnover again. Babson stays calm on that. They keep possession, and now they have a chance to really step on the Beacons right now, leading by 4. It's Emmett Martin. Emmett Martin shot, scores. He takes it all the way in. Nobody picks him up. He picks the top left corner, and I said it, and Babson does it, and that's their largest lead of the night, a 5-goal lead. It's 14-9.
Absolutely. It's the little things that are making the biggest difference, and the Beacons had a couple chances to turn that into their opportunity. Babson got it right back as theirs, and there you go. There's another goal, and this lead is starting to stretch a little bit.
It's funny, I talked about the narrative being it was all of the heavy hitters for Babson doing the scoring, and obviously when Chi Price has 5 goals, that's still the case. Dylan Quinn and Emmett Martin have both scored their first goals of the season just now, and those are the 2 goal scorers that have made this a 5-goal game as opposed to a 3-goal game. This is a deep, deep roster for Babson College, and they're pulling out all the stops at perfect time. Admiran, the pass off forward. Oh, chop step, down low, diving shot attempt. The save is made by Parducci, and that was very good defense out of number 36, Hayden Bean. Bean hasn't been on the field all that much, but I've seen him make 2 very good plays on defense. The senior out of Winchester, Mass. That's a huge turnover right there as the pass. That was from Price to Spangenberg. Usually they're not going to miss that connection. A gift of a turnover, but one that the Beacons will gladly take right now, running it back up, trailing by 5. We have a minute 10 running left in the 3rd quarter. So, Max, anything's possible in a lacrosse game. I think now you're really kind of counting on your face-off circle success.
Absolutely, and this is where the experience will hopefully kick in. Matt Lucozzi and Jason McNeely, older guys who have had strong seasons so far. It needs to pick up in the 4th, though.
Timothy Sullivan, pass over to Connor Smith. Smith out top to Liam Bowler. Bowler, feeling froggy today. Chop step, drags it behind the net. Keeps the right-handed cradle alive as Bennett Smith all the way back in the defensive midfield fronts him. Beacons might have something in this matchup. Bowler takes it back up top. Shot, rip, and another save by Will Parducci. This time it was Admiran getting robbed. And oh no, here's Dylan Quinn. He scored a goal like this earlier. Slips the pass over to Price. Price slaps the pass over to Spangenberg. And that's how you do it. Hey, can't hate on that. That is a beautiful goal with just 22 seconds left. And it's Will Spangenberg for the 2nd time today, the 24th time this season, and now he has eclipsed the 50-point mark. 26 assists to go with that as well. That's beautiful lacrosse, and that might have been the death knell for the Beacons this evening.
I was going to say that could have been a dagger play. That's a winning play right there. Not only the way that they took the ball away from the Beaks, but the way the fast break turned into good passing, set up a great shot, and over the top of Copy. It was a beautiful goal. You can't argue that.
So I had that wrong, not 24. He started this game with 24. Spangenberg up to 26, and the face-off win, it looks like if Clay can beat the race, he gets there. So the Beacons trailing by 6. They do win the face-off. They have 10 seconds left in the quarter to get a shot off. Luke Murphy, he might have some room to let it go here. Has 5 seconds. He doesn't know that he has 4 seconds. 3, 2, pass is intercepted by Parducci, and that will do it for quarter number 3. The Beacons, they fought admirably. They brought it back to within 2. They were on the doorstep to bring it to within 1, but a late surge from Babson College has a 6-goal Beaver lead as we head into the 4th quarter.
The Beacons really drew close there with strong defense and good opportunities on offense, but it's the little mistakes that have been haunting them from the opening whistle to now. Just a lot of turnovers that they shouldn't be making, a lot of guys unaccounted for on defense, and Babson is taking advantage. This is a good team who is not going to let you get away with mistakes. Beacons need to really put some stuff together, some stops and some scores in the 4th quarter if they want to make this a game.
The Beacons replenishing here between the third and fourth quarter. We'll take a very quick break. 15 minutes left. Anything's possible. Going to have to start winning some face-off draws and a couple less mistakes. But don't go anywhere. Fourth quarter on the Beacon Broadcasting Network, brought to you by LittleEast.tv right after this. Hey fans, welcome back to James Cotter Field. We're about to start the fourth quarter here, a non-conference tilt. The last non-conference game of the season for the UMass Boston Beacons, with a lot to prove against the Babson College Beavers. A couple of rough non-conference losses earlier on in the season. And this was the game that you could come out against the tough non-conference opponent and show the mettle of your team. And the Beacons have shown that in flashes, in spurts, but I think it's more of a statement on the ground that they give up to a NUMAC team and what we've seen out of Babson. Wow, sorry about that. I didn't mean to stop you there, but that's Dylan Quinn making yet another big play. I thought that ball was at our feet and out of bounds, and it'll stay with Babson. I'll give it back to you, Max.
Yeah, absolutely. I just wanted to mention that the Beacons want to prove something before they head into conference play, because their conference schedule is not going to be the strongest. They are going to be a heavy favorite, which doesn't mean anything, but they would like to have picked up a couple of nice wins over some strong out-of-conference opponents. And this is the last quarter before conference play. They want to prove something here, whether they win or not.
That's very true. Regardless of the win-loss, the final score is going to be very important in this contest. And so let's see how the defense answers the bell to get the fourth quarter started. That one is tipped by Carey, and it will stay in. Ryan Kenny just keeping it in with the referee right there. Nifty footwork there by number 21 to keep it in as we have 23 seconds running on the shot clock. Chi Price, 5 goals tonight, all of them beautiful. He swings the pass over to Stucci. Wow, Stucci gets around 3 Beacons and keeps the cradle alive, gets the pass to Spangenberg, and it's a goal for Emmett Martin. I thought Trevor Coppy had it in front, but no, number 39, Emmett Martin runs in, and that's his second goal today and his second goal of the season. Wow. That's all I can say about that is wow, because it was you sign up for 5 goals by Chi Price. You sign up for whatever Will Spangenberg is doing. I believe it's 2 and 4, 2 goals and 4 assists. Emmett Martin coming onto the field, scoring his first 2 goals of the season to effectively put the game away. That's not something you can prep for, and it's just kudos to Babson that that's how they are doing it tonight, showing you the primetime players, and then letting the role guys come in and seal the deal. McNeedy with the face-off win. He gets to Smith. Smith over to Ford. Colin Ford with some room to operate. Right-handed dodge. Shot just misses the top left corner. You can see the bench. They liked that look right there for Connor Ford. But now with the Beacons trailing by 7, you got to maybe take your head out of thinking about getting the win. Who are you going to go to get some goals back the rest of this contest?
Absolutely. Is it going to be a loss, or is it going to be an ugly loss? At this point, they have a chance to stop the bleeding and to make this a closer game before the final horn sounds, but it's going to be tough. They want to look for a good opportunity here on this possession.
That's Bowler spinning on Ashbourne. Shot, it bounces in. That was a good attempt from Liam Bowler. Missed the last 2 games. You could tell he's missed his time away from the lacrosse field. He's coming out firing. Beauregard. Yeah, he's just not as crisp as we've seen him before. He did score a beautiful goal in the second quarter, but the last 3 times Nolan Beauregard has the ball, he's turned it over in the midfield. He's off a little upset with himself right now, and now Babson already up 7, back on the front foot with a chance to score again. It's Ryan Kenny. That pick not doing anything. Instead, Kenny slides in, and that shot gets through 2 Beacons defenders. Can't keep a good man down. Ryan Kenny, a rather quiet night, but that's his second goal, and that is 17 for the Beavers. Largest lead is 8. They're up 17-9.
Yeah, and this game is getting away from the Beacons at this point. They want to stand tall on defense, but that's what they've been doing all night long. And honestly, the first 3 quarters have been really strong on defense. It's starting to wear down on them, and no offensive help on the other end.
I have a point to make. Let's wait and see what Matt Lucchese does in the face-off circle right here, lined up against Sunderland. Plays it backwards. That's another win. So, Max, the Beacons have lost all but 10 face. They're 18 of 28 in the face-off circle tonight. Unfortunately, a lot of those face-off wins have happened after Babson goals. Murphy, he had 2 of the first 4 goals for the Beacons this afternoon. Slings a pass back to Smith. Smith gets the pick from Mann, but that's great defense from Ashburn. Quick pass from Smith, inside to Banks, shot scores. Beautiful play right there. That's a lovely assist from Connor Smith. Shot hadn't been finding its target, so he gives it to Jacob Banks, who scores his first of the night.
Absolutely. Connor Smith is coming into his own as a passer. You can see in his stats at New England College, his first 4 years, and then his first few games here, he had very few assists.
It was about a 6-to-1 goal to assist ratio, maybe even a bit more than that. Yeah.
Right. He maybe got about 1.5 assists per game, but he is coming to his own 5 apples in the last game, and a beautiful pass there to set up Jacob Banks for an excellent goal.
Hey, you win faceoffs and anything's possible, and so the Beacons now 19 of 29 in the center circle. Mesower resetting the offense. We've got a football score right now. It's Babson 17, UMass Boston 10, but the Beacons back on the front foot here. The score of the last game in Babson last season was 17-11, and so obviously you just want to do better than the day before, and so you want to do better than the year before if you're the Beacons right now and at least eclipse that 11-goal mark. Bowler, behind the net to Banks. Banks loves that X. He's been seeing more and more playing time behind the net in the offensive zone for the Beacons. Admirand, spinning fake spin step, doesn't clear up any room. Great job staying home by Sammy Kalishman. Admirand, trying to clear up some room for that right-handed shot. They double team him. Maybe somebody open inside the middle. Gavin keeps the dodge alive. Oh, spin move beautifully, but no shot there as he spins in front. So it's back out to Colin Ford. 22 to shoot for the Beacons. Up top to Liam Bowler. Bowler, right-handed cradle. He's going to think about the right-handed shot. It's not there, and the Beacons, I don't know if they realize this, they're down to 11 on the shot clock. Ford, left-handed dodge. Ford, right-handed pass. Quick shot. Wow, quick trigger there by Jacob Banks. And Parducci wins the race instead of Bowler. All right, I was wrong about the Babson sideline. That's just real enthusiasm right there. They're still giving a huge round of applause to their goalie, Will Parducci, who is – no one's turning anything off for Babson at this point in the contest. They seem very set on trying to eclipse the 20-goal mark tonight.
Absolutely, and I talk about the little things that have hurt. The Beacons are benefiting the Babson Beavers, and Parducci winning the race to the ball there is just a summation of how things have been going tonight for the Beacons. Beavers with a little more hustle, a little more luck.
Assertiveness out of the true freshman, Bennett Smith, leading his teammate to set the pick for him, and it might have worked. It sets up a goal-scoring opportunity. That's going to be number 16, Jacob Taus, putting it into the top left corner. But you can thank number 29, Bennett Smith, telling his teammates where to get to, and the true freshman just drew up a play on the spot that led to a goal.
This is a great roster top to bottom, and Bennett Smith is shining as a first-year player on this field. Babson has guys everywhere on the field, and it's showing tonight in all facets of the game.
So Jacob Taus had 15 goals last season. 15 goals. 2 tonight. He's got 9 on the season. I mean, that's guys 101.
Absolutely.
Funny enough, you talk about when you basically go down a football roster, you have a guy off, right?
Yes.
Who has more guys out of the 53?
Absolutely.
Babson dresses 50 guys. 45 of them are guys. They have a very talented deep roster. I'm trying to pay them a compliment. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
there's some dudes, there are men out there on this lacrosse field, and even better, they're a very polished team. 2 of their biggest impactful players are grad transfers, and it looks like they're seamlessly infused into this Babson offense.
Absolutely. This looks like a team that's been working together for a long time.
And there's Chi-Chi Price. He's been scoring goals on this field for a long time. You're basically watching a master at work right there, folks. Pinging the top right corner. It is his 6th goal of the contest and his 33rd of the season. He's bypassed Connor Smith, or he's tied Connor Smith in season goals with 2 less games. That is just a ultra-talented goal scorer. And I tell you what, Max, that's one of the guys that you can look back on and say, hey, I'm kind of glad I got to watch him play. It's hard to score 6 goals against the Beacons, and to do it with goals this impressive, I'm going to remember that. Number 12 definitely getting his money's worth with 33 goals now on the season, and this is the largest lead for the Beavers. They're up 19-10.
Absolutely. Chi-Chi Rice showing out on his home field. his high school field. A really impressive performance, and it's been amazing to watch. And just Babson is taking over right now. The Beacons want to get one back, at least stop the bleeding. Turnover there.
No, I mean, that was a really good save by Parducci as Murphy. If you're Luke Murphy, what else are you going to try to do there? He scored a couple of goals that way earlier on in this contest. And Will Parducci hasn't been tested all that much in the second half. He was very good in the first half. And Babson very good now as that's Topher Bauer just scoring his second goal of the contest. It's getting away from the Beacons right now. We were worried about that. For Bauer, he's back up to double digits. He's got 10 goals, and these season stats really starting to fill out right now for Babson. It's running away from the Beacons. They've doubled them up. It's 20-10 Babson College. And so Coach Lowe taking a timeout. I think we'll take a timeout as well. Looking at the clock, 9:29 left to go in the contest. It's Babson 20, UMass Boston 10. Welcome back to the Beacon Broadcasting Network, brought to you by LittleEast.tv. My name is Chris Del Sordo. I am joined by Max Clifford. Max, the Beacons are trailing 20-10 right now. They've taken the same amount of shots as Babson College. It's 42 apiece. Here's a stat. Trevor Coppy has made 10 saves. They've been 10 impressive saves. Will Parducci up to 19 saves right now. He's just seeing the ball a little bit better than his counterpart in white and black.
Absolutely, and it's making all the difference. UMass Boston getting off good shots.
Another face-off win for the Beaks, too.
Absolutely, and it's been, those trends have kept up all night long.
Sean Cullen gets the handoff from Jason McNeely, who has been the man of the moment. Only 2 face-off losses tonight for McNeely. So he'll put that on his mantle. You always like to celebrate the individual performances, even if they're in what looks to be a loss, like what this game is turning into. And you don't see that too often. Zach Mann trying to pass it over to Gavin Admirand. Both players grab the ball right now. Hang on, let's see. It's white ball. So Admirand, it was a shot attempt. Gavin on it first, and he's operating from the X. Little left-handed cradle there from Gavin. Crosses over to his right, and he'll pass it deep in the direction of Connor Smith. Smith, right-handed cradle, looking over towards Mann. Bangs far away from the net. Not his favorite place to be on the field, but it frees up a dodge, and that will be a penalty called against Babson College, I believe. It's going to be a cross-check against Babson College. The guilty party, Hayden Bean. Up and down game for Hayden Bean. That's his first penalty. So it's a 1-minute penalty on Bean. Just the third opportunity with the man up for the Beacons today. And they've gone 1 of 2 in those 2 opportunities. Separately, Babson College, Max, 4 of 6 in their man-up opportunities. And it's kind of felt like that when you look at the scoreboard and you kind of feel the flow of this game. At this point, you just have to take advantage of this man-up opportunity to get the score looking a little bit nicer. It's still the starting 6 in the offensive zone for the Beaks as Smith winds it around. Admirand, a little late there, and the bench letting him hear it. But Beacons with a man up. Trying to find a shooting angle for Zach Mann. Don't want to see that there. Mann gets back to it, but it's loose, and it's picked up on the play by Kyle Sanborn. Number 44, a nice contest in the middle of the field. That pass is tipped, and it's intercepted by Pat Carey. So they tried for the long pass. Instead, it's tipped. Carey, a nice afternoon out of him offensively. Smith shot. Was that inside the post? No, it's off the post, and it'll stay in the offensive zone for the Beaks. Bowler chopping with it. Look at this individual effort, though. That's Dimitri Papoulis getting it cleared and drawing the flag. And this is Chi Price. Thought he had a goal. Instead, it's going to linger, roll out. Bowler touches it. That is going to be a penalty against the Beaks. So we'll have about 2 seconds with even strength lacrosse. But it will be a man-down opportunity coming against the Beaks. And now Coach Lowe, if you see this, he's getting a stern talking to from the referee right now. Whatever point Coach was trying to make, referee just not wanting to hear it, as it's Zach Mann, the guilty party, in front of us in the box. I guess you can expect that.
Absolutely.
game didn't go the way that you wanted it to. Now it's not maybe getting called the way that you wanted to. You don't want to see a player back in the box when you're already down 10 for another minute. So I think this is kind of understandable frustration that we're seeing from the Beacon sideline right now. I could not have gotten the sideline read more wrong. And so to anybody watching this game right now, you got me from the third quarter because it has been Babson's game. Basically, the second we hit the 10-minute mark, once we got to 25 minutes left in this game, that's when the Beavers realized, hey, we're Babson College. We're a top 20 team. If we win by a lot, we're shooting up the ranking. Let's do it. And that's what they did. They just decided. It seems like they did really decide to turn the switch on in that third quarter.
Absolutely.
Shot scores, they definitely turned the switch on. This is a new goal scorer. It's Nick Solomon. He's seen a lot of action. 6'5" frame, and all he had to do was reach up and get that shot in. It's another goal for Babson College, and we got a new goalie coming in for the Beacons. It's Broden Youngclaws with some excitement to him, running out to take on the center circle. So it's a new goalie for Broden Youngclaws. Trevor Copy gave it his all for the Beaks, but he gets beat on the play by Nick Solomon, and that will put an end to Trevor Copy's evening. Max, sorry to cut you off, but you had said he was kind of up until that point in the third quarter playing a great game. What happened?
Absolutely. It was a great start from Trevor Copy, and it's what we've seen from him all season. During this win streak, he's been the key, holding teams to single-digit goals, and then it just kind of fell apart here. I think his defense opened up a little bit. That's part of it, but also just Babson knowing exactly where to put the ball. I mean, his reflexes are quick, but they're not quick enough to keep up with the Babson shots tonight.
So it's the second line now attacking for Babson, but you can hear their coaching staff. They want no let-up right now. They want to see that these goal stats continuing to fill out right now. So this is our first look at number 24, Matt Park. He lets a shot rip. Big stick check on the play by Patrick Colburn. It's nice to see Patrick Colburn back out on the field. He was the program player in today's contest. Weird topic to talk about, but it looked like he might have gotten supplanted a little bit by Colin Colby entering the lineup. Such a capable defender in his own right. Now he's getting some minutes back, and interested to see what he brings to the Beacons the remainder of this contest, because it's a talented player whose role might be changing a little bit right now for the Beaks.
Absolutely, and speaking from knowing him as a person and as a player, he's an emotional leader for this team. He's a very high-energy character, and I can't imagine that being on the sideline for most of this game was doing him any favors. So hopefully he gives the young Beaks a little bit of a spark here at the end of the game and through the rest of conference play.
Definitely expect to see a lot of PC once we start conference play, and he was a player that got so much better last season as the year progressed. Probably the best defensive player in the LEC championship game against Keene State. He didn't take a minute off in that contest. Wolf shot, and a save from Parducci. Greg Wolf is such a talented goal scorer, and he was right in the middle there, and Parducci up to the task, quick reflexes, robbing big Greg Wolf of his 13th goal of the season. Nice play by Martin. This is a player who hadn't scored yet entering today. He has 2 goals. He might be trying for a hattie right here, and he misses the shot high into the right. That's exactly what he's trying to do. And there's a couple of players in that boat for Babson. That's probably, Max, what we're going to be seeing out of them the rest of the way, but they're right back in. And on the ball is Ryan Kenny, so the starting attackman's still out there for Babbo, trying to add to this 11-goal lead. Kenny up high. Looks over to Taus. He has a goal this afternoon. Jacob Taus trying to take on Colin Colby one-on-one. Instead, it's out to Bennett Smith. Smith shot. Smith score. He's looked great this evening. There's another goal, and there is a hat trick for the true freshman from Lake Oswego, Oregon. Got to say that again. Bennett Smith.
Beavers are getting everything they want here at the end of the game, and you're absolutely right. They are a team with a national ranking, and they would like to improve that ranking. And there are also players who are getting in the game now who haven't had a chance to prove it yet, who want to do so. So there's still a lot to play for, still a lot of blood in this Babson team, and the Beacons definitely getting worn down a little bit here. You can tell it's frustrating to lose by this many.
Yeah, the Beacons haven't seen a game like this. Now, the Connecticut College game, you expect a good performance out of a team like Conn College. They didn't expect to lose 17-6, but it didn't feel like this. That game just never got started. The MIT game, the Beacons were playing from such a far deficit that by the time the final score was 21-13, it felt respectable. This is a game that the Beacons were 10-8. They were an inch away from making it 10-9, like a minute into the third quarter, and how different it feels right now with the scoreboard 22-10. We're under the 5-minute mark left to go, 4:58 on a running clock, and Babson once again back in the offensive zone, just winding right into their offense with Broden Youngclaws, now the goalie in net. Let's talk about this. Broden Youngclaws, he's looked very good in his time on the field. Otto Kierlees, you would assume, would be the next in line after Trevor Copy graduates. But this number 35 has looked very good, and he might be a surprise candidate to be the starting goalie for the Beaks next season. So that's another reason to be very interested in what he does out on the field right now.
Absolutely. A team like the Beacons that takes a lot of shots and scores a lot of goals also has to face a lot of shots on defense. So they want an elite goalie in there, and Trevor Copy has looked elite at times, but they're not afraid to test out new guys. Last year, I'm forgetting his last name, but Christian Meinhold was an excellent second goalie for them, and they've tested out some new guys here. And if Broden Youngclaws looks good, they're going to roll with him a little bit here going into the end of the season.
Looks like Owen Gallagher is going to get a touch right here. It's funny, Broden Youngclaws was one of 3 Youngclaws brothers that played in the UMass Boston versus Norwich game earlier this season. So out of Middleborough, Massachusetts, he comes from a lacrosse family, actually from the same area as Trevor Copy. They talked about knowing each other a little bit too, so that's got to be nice to see. Another save out of Will Parducci, as that was Timothy Sullivan, an exciting young goal scorer for the Beaks, just getting absolutely robbed right there as Parducci got beat a little bit in the end of the second quarter. And that's a beautiful goal from Dylan Quinn. Emmett Martin hadn't scored, and he's until tonight where he has 2. Dylan Quinn now has 2. And for Dylan Quinn, the junior out of Spring Lake, New Jersey, he might be the player to remember here. His plays in the midfield have led to goals offensively for Babson, getting it done himself in 2 transition plays. It's 23-10, and he very well might be the cover player in Babson's postgame write-up tonight.
Absolutely. Just the guys we expected to make an impact for Babson are, but there are a lot of guys that we didn't know would be showing up so much. And tonight, and Dylan Quinn is one of them, a really impressive performance from the young guy, and there's not much you can do to stop it at this point.
Max, if I told you coming into action tonight that Will Spangenberg would only have 2 goals and 2 assists, you'd take it. You'd be like, yeah, 2 and 2, that sounds like we did a good job boxing him up. You would have never thought it would have been 21 other goals scored by 21 other Babson Beavers, and that's just the way the game went tonight. It was Chi Price's night. He was letting it rip early and often. And the Beacons have gotten leads like that thanks to runs like what Connor Smith or Gavin Admirand have gone on. And it's very interesting, honestly, to get a little bit of a taste of your own medicine from the broadcaster's point of view, because these past 3 games that I've called for the Beacons, they've been running roughshod offensively. And to know that, hey, there are other teams in D3 that can do that too, it's tough to see. But there's a lot. All right, so a 1-minute penalty for unnecessary roughness against Babson College. There are a lot of freshmen on this team, a lot of freshmen and sophomore, and a lot of them seeing their roles increase. You want to feel a loss like this if you're the freshman, because you're going to take that into next season to remember how bad this felt. It's nice to see that there's going to be a lot of guys to carry on the message. And if you get another crack at Babbo, you might not think it'll go quite like this again.
Absolutely, yeah. This is going to be one that sticks with you, and this is a tough loss, but it's one that they're going to take and grow from. And as you mentioned, young Beacons that are going to remember this for years to come, and it's a strong base that they've built here that's going to keep growing in years to come.
Wolf and Admirand working a nice little 2-man game there. It got Gavin Admirand probably the best quality chance he's had in this quarter. Misses high. They'll go back to Murphy. Murphy, quick dodge, trying to fire off that right-handed shot. Nothing there. He has Smith to his left. Instead, it's Wolf. Oh, he pulled it. You can see the angle on the shot Greg Wolf wanted to take. It just didn't come quite too clean out of his stick. We talked about it a little bit. Slightly less playing time this season for number 41 than last year. And every now and then in his goal-scoring opportunities, it looks a little rusty. That maybe he would benefit from being out on the field a bit more. I love seeing Greg out there because of so many different things he can do on the field. There's Zach Mann. Big goal for him. 6 years of lacrosse, and he's showing off the experience and the expertise right there. Big goal for number 29 for Zach Mann. That is his 6th goal of the season, and the Beacons are back to within 12. It's 23-11.
Old man Zach there taking care of business, showing the young guys how it's done, and that's a nice spark to get at the end of the game, so that it's not just this unmitigated run for Babson to finish off the game. You want to show a little fire here at the end for the Beacons.
So for Zach Mann, that goal is scored with a man up. And that's going to be a penalty against Babson College. So the Beacons will once again have a man up. And let's see if they can get another goal out of that. Zach Mann scoring the prior goal, and let's see the call here. So it's going to be a 30-second technical foul against number 30, Jared Lucic. Yeah, so here we go. Lucic is the guilty party. He's in the penalty box. You mentioned it. Probably the shortest player on the Babson College roster. Solid, powerful frame on him, though, as he takes a knee in the sin bin. Beacon just scored a man-up goal. Let's see if they can add another one to the tally, make this look slightly nicer in the post-game box score. Big save. Parducci says no if he has anything to do with it. Wolf goes back out to Bowler.
10, 9, 8.
This frees up Admiran, and the shot misses wide to the right. Wow, Gavin Admiran, hands free, had the angle. Will Parducci didn't touch it, per se. But Admiran a little bit off, just like Smith, as this game has progressed into the fourth quarter.
3, 2, 1.
So they do kill off the penalty, does Babson College. Bowler has plenty of time, and it looks like the Beacons are just going to reset into this 6-on-6 look. Bowler from man. Bowler shot. That was close. Misses about 6 inches high. Connor Smith right there. Smith wasting no time, winding it back in. Quick hands out of number 24. Oh, quick shot. That is a beautiful goal for number 24, Connor Smith. He gets himself a nice little hat trick. He always has quick hands. One of the hardest shots in the league, and that one absolutely beautiful. A little bit of a bar down shot right there. And 2 goals in a row get the Beacons a little bit more respectable. It's 23-12 for Connor Smith. Sorry about that. Goal number 34 on the season.
That was just a frustration goal from Connor. You could tell he took it himself and just ripped it at the very first chance he got, and it was fast, too. He put all his strength behind that one.
If nothing else, and another face-off win for Jason McNeely. Don't want to go without commenting on that McNeely's having a whale of a night. He gets the pass back to Sullivan, and so the Beacons with 90 seconds trying to score a couple more. Timothy Sullivan, right-handed dodge, and he didn't get a clean release on that. Admiran's closest to it. Nice to see, if nothing else, that the Beacons are just getting some looks in their offensive zone to close this game out. Sorry about that. Going to reset the shot clock here to 62 seconds. And so it will stay in the offensive zone for the Beaks. Minute 25 left to go. Babson 23, UMass Boston 12. It's Admiran. They've really had an answer for Gavin for most of this contest as he dodges in from the X, keeping the left-handed cradle alive. High pass, it finds Cullen. Low shot, and Parducci, another save. Will Parducci, the second half has belonged to him. Almost commits a turnover, but he's bailed out by his teammate on the play, Sammy Kalishman. And now it's number 46 into the offensive zone for Babson College. Hey, we've said a lot of good things about Will Parducci, but, I mean, anything else you have to say about him, feel free. The mic's yours. He's awesome.
Man's been standing on his head all night long, and this is a Beacons attack that is not easy to hold to 11 goals. I mean, double-digit goals, but my goodness, it could have been 25 against a lesser goalie. Will Parducci, can't say enough good things about him. He's been taking up that whole net.
We take a look. The shot clock and the game clock are negative, so if Babson wants to, they can hold for the last shot. They don't. They take a shot there. The shot misses wide. Shane McGonigal, who always looks good whenever he is on the field. Nice play there. He gets dispossessed, but he picks it back up, and it looks like the Beacons are going to steal a clear here. Oh, Mezawar takes a big hit in the open field, and no, it's going to go back to Babson College. Dylan Quinn, another big play. His nice night continues. This might do it for the Beavers unless they want to take a stab at one more goal here. Max Martell winding down the clock, and as we hit the 4-second mark, that will do it. With the win, Babson College moves to 7-2. The loss brings the UMass Boston Beacons to 7-4 on the season. Well, Max, it's going to be LEC opponents the rest of the way. But what did this one final test against a top 20 opponent show about the Beacons? It's a lot of things, a lot of different directions. How are you ingesting this game?
Man, this is a tough one to take away because they looked so good in that first half, and they really held strong against the Beavers, and they had a chance to take the lead. And I think you try to take away a positive from that, and you think if things had gone a little differently, if we had played a little more clean, things could have been different. And like I said, the conference schedule is not going to be the toughest one in the nation. You are not going to be the NESCAC like Babson is going to face. You're going to face some teams that you should beat, and they should take advantage of those opportunities to get better with each game. And when they face a team like Babson, hopefully in the NCAA tournament, eventually, hopefully they'll play a little bit better and take advantage of those opportunities that they couldn't get tonight.
Final score, Babson College Beavers 23, UMass Boston Beacons 12. We will throw it to a quick break, and when we come back, we'll just do a final stat summary, final goal scoring summary, and say our goodbyes. So not done yet, don't go anywhere, but we have gone final. Beacons 12, Beavers 23. The finale after this on the Beacon Broadcasting Network, brought to you by LittleEast.tv. Babson College 23, UMass Boston 12. That's the final. Max, as we look at the final numbers, here's some numbers that are going to surprise you. So you can't see the screen right now. The Beacons took 56 shots. Babson College only took 48. So that's the first one right there. Face-off wise, the Beacons have won 24 of the 38 face-offs. Babson only won 14 of the 38. The difference, offensive execution and goalie play, as Will Parducci all of a sudden, as this game progressed, really became the story in net for Babson College.
Yeah, those first few stats sound like we took care of business tonight, but as you mentioned, offensive execution and turnovers. That's going to be a big focus in practice this week with the coaches low, and they are going to make sure that their team is going to play a lot cleaner when the next game rolls around, because they had a chance to make this a tight game with Babson. You could lose a game that you're on the verge of if you don't play clean. So they need to get that together as they go into conference play, and it's going to make all the difference.
Normally, this is the funnest part of the broadcast. It's going to be pretty painful tonight. Let's go through the goal scorers here. First for Babson College, 6 goals out of the senior Chi Price. He now has 33 on the season. Bennett Smith with 13. With 3 goals. He has 14 on the season. Will Spangenberg with 2. He's up to 26. Ryan Kenny with 2. He has 24. Ho-hum. Emmett Martin, his first 2 of the season, and Dylan Quinn, his first 2 of the season. So have a night, boys. And then 1 goal apiece for Nick Solomon, Jacob Taus, Sean Connery, Matt Stucci, who had 5 assists as well, Topher Bauer, and Christian Broth. So there you have the goal scorers for Babson College. For the Beacons, 3 goals for Connor Smith to lead the way. He had an assist as well. 2 goals apiece for Luke Murphy and Gavin Admirand. And then 1 goal apiece for Darian Clay, Liam Bowler, Jacob Banks, Zach Mann, and Nolan Beauregard. The Beacons right back at it. There's a game here on Saturday at 1 against Mass Maritime. The last time those two teams played, just a ho-hum 21-20 barn burner. So, Max, buckle up. We're probably going to have some more fun here on Saturday afternoon.
Perfect bounce-back opportunity for the Beaks. It was a thriller last time Mass Maritime came here. Let's see it again and take care of it.
Mass Maritime enjoying a surprising 2-0 start in conference play to boot. And so that'll do it for us tonight here for the broadcasting crew. Mike Vesci, our producer. Tam Landry running the graphics next to me. It's Allie Dean on the camera tonight. Max Clifford, our color commentator. My name is Chris Del Sordo. Guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight. Tough loss for the Beacons. They moved to 7-4 on the season, but we're back on Saturday at 1 for the game against Mass Maritime Academy. Have a great night tonight. We'll see you on Saturday. Roll Beaks.